Hey everybody, what's up? This is Jack with SGTV. Today's video we're going to be going over the Update 35 PTS combat feedback and upcoming changes. So these are not. This video is a little bit late. It was posted Friday. I mentioned in the last video Mrs. Jack's birthday happened. So this video is, it's a little late. These changes are happening today. But we're going to dive into them because there was a lot of lash back towards ZOS over the combat changes when the PTS notes were previewed. Alright, so we'll just get into it. This is an update on where they're at with the PTS feedback that they've seen and their plans of action. There are three main issues they would like to address with some targeted adjustments in, it says next week, but this was posted Friday. The changes mainly pertain to damage and healing over time effects. They have been the main focus of the majority of conversations between all types of players, which makes sense. When you get into advanced DPS, it's not so much about upfront direct damage as it is about dots. And it affects a lot of skills in the game, the way that they were going to handle them. So the first is the loss of reactive gameplay with ticking area of effect based abilities. Delayed tick rates they've seen make them feel far less reactive to their surroundings and further punish their lack of mobility. The second is how the extension of durations on area of effect based abilities actively harms their effectiveness since their power has been stretched out over a longer period, which further increases their risk of targets not staying in the area. This makes perfect sense. They were talking about doubling the length and cutting in half the amount of times that the AoEs tick. To understand this, you really have to understand damage. There's single target damage, direct damage, damage over time effects, area of effect damage, and all of that is calculated differently. If you change one of them, then, especially these, you're not going to be seeing the numbers tied in with the other combat effects or tied in with the other combat changes that they've been talking about. It just makes this doing what they were talking about doing would make the abilities less effective. I know Spy has downloaded the PTS to take a look for himself. That's where everyone got to see the healer build constructed, actually, so that build already works for the changes according to last week. But we don't ever know what exactly will hit live servers. Anyway, so the other change is they've taken time to go through and better differentiate standards for damage and healing over time effects based on the type of ability it is. So for the too long didn't read summary, basically you have sticky overtime effects and you have static overtime effects. Sticky overtime effects could be an area, but they follow the target. Static overtime effects are generally laid down in a circle or some dimension, like Wall of Elements, for example. A lot of the things that Templars do, whereas the sticky overtime effect, a good example is like Noxious Breath, Venomous Claw, things like that with the Dragonite, and all of their burning abilities too, or abilities that inflict burning. That would be a sticky overtime effect. So the current plan is the sticky overtime effects are going to retain their initial PTS 20-second plus timer, 2-second frequencies. We won't get into the math here. Static overtime effects will be returning to 10 to 15 second durations with 1-second frequencies, which is probably for the better. Like, the longer it is, I do agree that having such a long period of time where the damage doesn't take anywhere near as often could be an extremely negative, could result in negative effects on the gameplay, because the damaging area is stuck in an area and you would have to keep reapplying. The main point, I guess, that I have about that is most rotations are based on reapplying as something falls off, like an ability, the timer ends for it, you reapply it then. With this, you would be reapplying it possibly even right after you laid whatever ability is down. Anyhow, they've spent more time looking at durations where certain skills are sourced and are going to give them baseline timers and follow a common denominator. So Stampede, for example, will remain 15 seconds. Carve's duration is going to be 30 seconds. Now that's an example. Stampede is a static overtime effect, and Carve is a sticky overtime effect. So they do go ahead and address here. We hope these differing standards allow you to better decide what type of pacing your build utilizes. The point of this game is to play how you want, and they address it here. So I don't know if they, like, it is my opinion and Spy's opinion that the coming game, like the gameplay changes, are not the best. Like, it is Zoss's game, but they're not going to end up good for most builds. I mean, that's where we stand, but this is the coming changes. It does seem like Zoss has some grasp of the changes that were going to be made are gonna actually hurt the game. I know they had responded to a lot of negative feedback. I do remember reading something about that. But anyhow, those are the changes coming to the PTS. Hopefully, we see more changes come. I understand them wanting to make changes to the game. I would like to see better changes because this is a fundamental change to gameplay. So anyway, that's it. That's what I have for this video. If you liked it, if you enjoyed it, give it a like and share it. Take a look around the channel. If you like what you see, we're trying to build out a reference for basically everything. So that way you got a one-stop shop. If you like what you see, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell icon so you're notified each time we put out a new video. One last thing before I go, we do have a couple of ways now that you can go about supporting the channel if you want to do more than just subscribing. We have SpyPie Gaming t-shirts that are available for purchase. I'll put a link to them up in the corner of the video and a link in the description down below. Also, below each of our videos, there's a thank you button shaped like a heart. You can click on it and donate just a couple of dollars. Every little bit counts. We are here for you guys, so your subscription is just as valuable as that. But if you do want to do more, there are a couple of options. And we have some more things coming down the road. So anyhow, I will see you guys in the next one.